get started here. So we're going to work on DNS. Okay. Okay. So last week we worked on Yum, right? And I found this good document here from the Red Hat website. That you could, when you have good setup here, you could play around and tells you what these things would do and how you could use Yum. Okay. These commands will help you manage the repositories. These are the one troubleshoot and maintain, install, remove, and upgrade packages with Yum. Downgrade, Yum downgrade package name. Okay. And also, if you went through the document, I found some system CTO service. Okay. So today we'll work on DNS. Okay, DNS. So what is DNS? DNS is nothing but domain okay. So what does that mean is let's Google it. DNS. Okay. All right. Over here it says it's a domain name system is the phone book of internet. Okay, so this is a good definition.
Here and then provide the update. So I think we need to make sure that we get them also connected.
Okay, so let's take a look here how exactly it's working here. So what does a phone book means? It's a phone book if you in your phone. So if in your phone, if you type in the phone number, okay, either you could type in the phone number. So if you type this number in your phone, what it will do is if this number is saved in your phone book, if this number is saved in your phone book directory, then what it will do is it will display the name ZMPT. So it will display you the name. Okay. So for example, if you dial this number and if this happens to be your home number, it will display home. And also at the same time, what you could do is you could type ZMPT and then hit enter. What it's doing in the background is it's dialing this number here. Okay. So hope this is easy. It's just a simple phone book. Okay. For that, we have to set up a server. Okay. It's called DNS server. It's a domain name system. So what is a domain name? Okay. So if you go on If you go on to Google, what you're doing is you're typing the domain name. This is the domain name. And then obviously the computer doesn't care what the domain name is, okay? What it does is it needs the number in the background. So I think I talked about the IP address. When we learned about networking, I talk about the IP address, right? Anybody remember that? Let's see here. Okay, so we went through this little exercise here that searching for a name on internet, you type like, for example, google.com. We'll take a look here. We'll type google.com, but in the background, uh, what computer is doing is it's going on to the DNS server and asking a name if it says if the name google.com exists, and the DNS server respond and says yes it does, and it routes you to the place where Google is at. So let's take a picture. Okay, I think this looks good to me. I don't like this. Okay, yeah, I like this picture here. So what is happening here? Let's take a look. So what happens here is and what you do is these numbers here, like you could remember one or two numbers, but it's very difficult for you to remember the IP address. So to resolve that problem, what we do is we remember things which are in letters, okay? For example, google.com. So let's talk about example.com. Here the user types into the browser example.com. Okay, what is happening here is from here, from your DNS resolver, this is one of the another server here. It takes this information, google.com, and I'm sorry, example.com, and on number 3 item, he goes and check with the DNS name server, and it says right, and it checks in here and says do you have this name. If it doesn't, then what it does is at the same time it's going to the server for .com. So it looks for .com and it goes to this server here, and after that it returns the message to you, and it says it found the number, and it gives you the IP address 192.10.2.44. From there, the computer knows where to go. Once it gets the IP address, now from here, and then it goes to the server wherever it's located in the world. From there, you start displaying the web page. Okay, so next time you type example.com, it's not going to the server anymore because your computer remembers it, and it goes there, hits it, comes back, and then it goes there. So next time you type example.com, it's going directly. Okay, all right, we'll prove that later on in the class today. All right, let's see here. This is a very good run. So these are the other examples here. You know what? Hold on. Let me just edit this here because it is showing you the Route 53, but Route 53 is something associated only with Amazon here, so you don't have to worry about that. So let me. Okay, so I'm going to edit even more here. So here, you type in example.com, DNS resolver, it goes there and goes and look at the DNS server, and then from there, it gets the IP address, and then it gives it to the computer, and then the computer saves it here. This is another system in here. It gives the IP address to the computer, and the computer goes in to the web, wherever that web server is or wherever that domain is, and from there it's going to remember the domain name. Okay, so simple terms, that's how it's going to work. Okay. But within the company, so far we've been using only IP address, right? We've been using IP address. So in PuTTY, in here, if you want to connect anytime, we're just giving the direct IP address here. Okay, so we've been typing that IP address here, and then for us to see, we're just giving the name here. Here, you should be able to type Google, and then or the name of the computer, which is also a domain. Okay, so we'll take a look a little bit later. All right, good. All right, give me one moment here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type the name host name, okay? In here, the host name it says is ZMP01 at ZM PROTech. So what I'm going to do is change this here because one time I have changed this here. So let's see if we could type this address here. Okay, let me bring up the command prompt. Let me type ping and then this here and hit enter. So this thing doesn't work, doesn't exist in the domain. So let's type com. So this is the name and this is the IP address here. Looks weird to me, but what we're gonna do is we bring up web page and then instead of typing Google address, I'm gonna type the IP address here. Can somebody tell me what will happen when I hit enter? It took me to google.com. Okay, let's try it on one of the websites I've never visited before here. Okay, so I don't think I visited this website here. Ping, let's see here. Uh, zero, zero. I'm gonna type pingbbc.com, okay, and I'm gonna hit enter. So what actually happened in the moment's time, it went there and brought you back the address here. What really happened? All this thing happened here, okay? So let's type this IP address into the browser here and see what will happen. When you type the IP address, okay, it's okay, I copied it. I'm gonna paste it in here. And the moment I hit enter, it should go to bbc.com. Why is it taking long?
You used bcc.com.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. That one exists too, so let's do BBC. Obviously, it's a different number here, so let's do that. So that website is not ready, I think. So if I type that IP address, it should go there here. Why is it not doing it? Can you guys try it? Let's try BBC News. Okay, yeah, actually, it's not this one here. It's you have to type this here. Let's see here. Ooh. All right, let's go with the popular one here. Ping, CNN.com. All right, I'm hoping this should work. Okay, maybe it's a problem with the Firefox. Let's see. Okay, guys, for some reason, the direct website is not working, but like a search engine like Yahoo is working. But believe me, that's how it works here. So I typed in, I got the IP address for yahoo.com, and then I put it in a browser. It's working here. Okay, so you get the idea. That's how exactly it works. But I don't know why other sites are not working. Maybe they have some kind of safety net set up so that you are not able to connect using the IP address.
Also, Zafar, it may not be true for every website that the address which we are getting ping, it is a web server address basically.
Yeah, you're so right. So what happens is maybe they have not published it to the DNS server, okay, and that way it's not resolving correctly. Okay, good. But you got the idea what's happening here, right? Okay. So let's move on. So we're gonna actually work on setting up the DNS server here, okay? So for that, we need to install some packages here. So usually you would do using your local repository, but I'm gonna go online, okay? For this, I'm gonna go online and make it go online and download some packages from online repository. Okay. Okay, good. I'm gonna shut it down for a moment here. So you could take any of these boxes here. In this case, I created a bunch of clones here, and I named this as a DNS, and then we're going to work on this. Okay, let me go to settings, go into network, adapter, enable it, and enable NAT. Okay. All right, all other things look good to me. Why does it say deny? It should work still.
What was the difference? The thing you're gonna download it or install it from the online, so instead of local repository. What was the difference?
pinged it and I pinged Google, so it's giving me the number here. So that means it's working. Okay. So very first thing you need to install is there are some specific software which you need to install for it to be working here. So which one you are installing?
Bind and bind utils.
Yep. Yeah, very good. Okay, so I'm going to install bind, okay, and then bind utils, and then bind, and there is one more you call chroot, chroot. Okay, so we have to install 3 packages here. Okay, so yum install bind. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install all 3 together. Then I'm going to type bind -utils. You could install individually, but if you type like this, you could install all 3 together. And if I do -y, what's going to happen is if there is a prompt to ask you yes or no, it will automatically go for yes. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, we didn't get any errors, so looks like it has installed a bunch of packages, dependent packages with it. Okay, so the very next step is what you have to do is you have to make changes into the network file. Okay, where is network file? You go into VI etc. Okay, can somebody tell me what etc folder usually has?
Configurations.
Yeah, very good. Any configuration in the system, you could tell yourself definitely in the etc folder. Okay, so when you go in here, what will happen is you will see something like local dot something. So I played around here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this name. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the name a different name here, but you guys could do it too. You guys literally could give any name here, but for now I'm going to give the name DNS master 1 dot zmpt.com, and then I'm going to save and exit. Okay, so what will happen is it saves it here. But you know what I should have done? I should have actually disabled internet connection, because what will happen is your router does a little bit more than just supplying and routing and going on to the internet. It also, there is one file in here. There is one file in here that the router goes and rewrites it quite often. What is that file? vi/etc/resolve.conf. Okay, so I had played in here, but normally if I wouldn't have played in here, it would be something else in here. Okay, so we're gonna come back to this place again. But let me go ahead and turn it off, the internet connection. Let me see if I could do it without shutting it down. Okay, I was able to, and good, there is no internet connection. And let me just clear this. Okay, so what we did, we went in this file and put some configuration in there. Okay. Okay, good. So now what we have to do is we have to go into another configuration file, vi/etc/hosts. There is another file that's named called host. So you go in there, and what you could do is add a new line in there and put in the IP address here. First, you have to find the IP address of your box. Okay. Okay. So you have to get this IP address here. add a new line in there. And then against that line, you could have a good space there, that doesn't matter. And you type in the name here, dnsmaster1.zmpt.com. Okay. Okay, good. So let me save and exit. So let me type something like host name here. Okay, so right now the host name is saying zmpt01.zmprotech.com. That's your old host name here. What will happen is when I restart the system, the host name is going to be dnsmaster1.zmpt.com. Okay, so let me go ahead and restart here. Okay, it's taking a little bit extra time. Okay, it's ready now. Maybe not. Okay, you could definitely take a look in here. It says now here DNS master 1. Previously it was ZMPT01. Okay, when you will be configuring it, probably it will be local something, local dot whatever the name you have given. And then to confirm, you type host name and view dnsmaster1.zmpt.com. Okay, so okay, now here's the challenge here. So what we're gonna do is there is a file name name.conf. Okay, so there is a lot of configuration you need to do in setting up DNS here. So Bear with me, there are a bunch more other files that we'll be configuring. So what you do is you go into file name etc.named.conf. Okay, it stands .conf means it's a configuration file. Okay, so in here, what you do is there. Okay, by the way, over here it says port 53. So this is going to be one of the interview questions that says what is the port on? DNS utilizes the port 53. Can somebody tell me what is port 22? Who uses port 22?
PROTech.
Very good, SSH. Okay, so what I need to do at this moment is I need to edit this file here, specifically these two lines. I need to edit it, but I need some information here. So I need to gather some information. So let's see here. I'm going to open the same session in another party session here so that I get some IP information. Okay. So here, okay, what I need here is I need to, this is a loopback. This is a loopback address here, 127.0.0.1, and which is over here, 127.0.0.1. What is loopback? Loopback address? That means if you don't have any network card attached in here, for example, if you take if you remove this network card and if there is no network card in here, you would still have a local loopback 127.0.1.1. The system has its own built-in uh, network card, and it has the address of 127.0.0.1. Somebody is trying to fool you, we can connect to my box, and if they give you the IP address, they're just playing around with you, okay? So don't get fooled. Okay, good. So what we need to do is, we need to go in here and then edit this. And let me give you a little space, and then I'm going to type this IP address here. Where is it? Right here. 192.168.0.56. PTH1 is for the internet here, so we disabled it for the moment. Okay, and right next to it, you have to give a semicolon, okay? These are really, really important how these things are placed. Okay, and allow query. In there, you have to type, what you have to type is, you have to type same IP address, but yeah, type same IP address, but instead what you do is you keep first three octets same here, 192.168.56 dot. After that, you have to type, oh shoot. Okay, after that you have to type 0 and then /24. So what is going to happen is anybody who wants to connect here is basically allowing any of the box to connect from this octets here. So anything that starts with the 192.168.56 that one up until the 24 octets. Okay. All right. So I mean, this is a little bit this means a lot more when you are going deep into the networking. But for now, we don't really go very, very deep in networking. So this is just understand for now. you just type the same similar octet just like above here, but instead you just type 0/24, okay? All right, let's get out of here. I'm gonna save and exit. Okay, you need a semicolon also, okay?
Did we need semicolon at the end, Badr, for the even if there's no IP address following that?
No, you definitely need that.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see here. I'm gonna copy this much information. Okay, so when I highlighted, you know you need to add it. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to configure another file here. Okay, DNS, you have to configure a lot of files here. So which file you need to configure that? Okay, I type clear here, and then I'm going to browse to the name.conf file here. cd etc folder means configuration file, and then there is a folder named. Okay, which one I go into? Okay, name.rfc. Okay, I forgot what this means. Let's Google it. Um,
Remote function call.
oh, is that what it is? Okay, good. Thank you. So now configure function call. Okay, so how are you going to do that? And then you go into, is there a folder, right? Okay, no, that's not a folder. So let's go in there and let me do okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to grep. So this is actually a file here. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit this here, okay? Okay, good. So let's see here, go all the way down. Okay, so give me one moment here. This one. Okay, so go in this file here and last lines here, okay? So I'm going to hit enter here, and then what you could do is you could type some bunch of pound signs here. The way you know what you're doing is you're starting fresh lines in here, okay? So you give some space, and then you paste it here, okay? Let me copy this again. Oh shoot. Okay, let's copy this and go insert and give some space there. And pound sign hashtags, and then right click here. Okay, so I think it pasted 2 times here. Let me come on. I'm interested in copying last 2 here. Okay, I highlight this and then I go into enter mode, and then I'm going to right click once. Okay, it copied this time here. With the way you could tell is because it copied below all these pound signs here. And now what you have to do is you have to make some edits here. Okay, so here there is a default address in here. It says the IP address dot in-addr.arpa. So what is happening is it says .arpa. This is coming from, the DNS was developed by, Department of Defense, and they created something called ARPANET. I'm not going to touch any base on that, but for our class purpose, this here, and I'm going to type in here the name of what we've been using so far here. So earlier what we used here is dnsmaster1.zmpt.com. So in here what I'm going to type is, you're going to just type zmpt.com. Okay, and also the loopback, instead of loopback, what I'm going to type is, I'm going to type in here, delete this, zmpt.flz, what FLZ stands for. FLZ stands for forward lookup zone. Okay, we're going to go down here, and I'm going to leave this information here, and in here the first 3 octet of our IP goes in here. Okay, what is that? 192.168.56, and the rest of the things stays the same here. inaddr.arpa. Okay, and in here it says the file. I'm going to delete this information here and type zmpt.com. zmpt.rlz. Okay, FLZ is for forward lookup zone, RLZ is for reverse lookup zone. Okay, so what you could do is you could ping what forward and reverse look stands for. I'll show you. Okay, you type ping google.com, and what it does is it will give you the IP address. So this is a forward lookup zone. Okay, and what is the reverse lookup zone? So what you have to type is you have to type ns lookup, and you 58.192.238. Okay, and hit enter. What it does is, okay, so this is the server that is keeping the information regarding the Google address, Google DNS here. Let me ping that and see what it's going to do. Okay, interesting. Let me go ahead and type this in the browser and see what happens. Okay. Okay, it's giving the error message here. But anyway, this is how it works here. When we have this DNS set up, we should be able to use NS lookup. Give you over here, it will give you the name of the box here. Normally over here it should have shown us google.com, but it's not doing that. I don't know why. Okay, all right, good. So let me copy this before I forget. Okay, the way all these lines are spaces and everything, it has to be exactly the way you see it. Okay, if you have some extra space or if you have some extra semicolon, something like that, then it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to insert box. So what did we change here? We changed this. We changed this. We changed this. And we changed this, I think, yeah. Did we? So, change this here. Okay. I'm going to save it. Save and exit. And Okay, now the next step is I have to go into the named there is a war log. You have to go into a war log and then create a file in there which is called named. Okay, so how are we going to do that? We go to cd war named and then hit enter there, and let's do ls. Okay, so and then what we're going to do is we go copy the file name. We're going to copy this file here. How are we going to do that? cp -p, okay, cp-p. What does p stands for?
That's
No, it's going to preserve the, we are copying it, so it's going to preserve the permissions. Okay, and it's called zmpt.flz. Okay, we named a file name flz, forward lookup zone, so we need that file in here, so we're creating one in here and hit enter. Okay, so in here it copied, it should both should have the same permissions here. Read, write, read, and this one is also read, write, read. Okay, let's do, I'm just holding off on the permissions and all that. I'm not going to explain too much here because we're going to spend two weeks on permissions and all that administration. It's a big topic also. Okay, where was the command? Okay. Now since we did that, we have to go and edit it. So how are we going to do it? vi and then the file name and hit enter here. Okay, now this is the configuration file here. What will happen is the server or this is also a very important integral part of this DNS, how the DNS works here. So the way you see, the way I'm typing, you have to keep exactly the way it is, okay? All right, so in here where it says NS, you use your arrow and then come here and delete @ and then what you have to type is you have to type DNS master 1.zmpt.com. Okay, and then on the second line you have to type @ and a. We're gonna go over what all this means here, okay? And then now I have to type the IP address for this own box here. 192.168.56.101. If I'm not wrong. Let's see here. Yeah, 101. Okay, I get out of there, and I don't need this line. I don't need this line here. Okay, everything else Let me make sure everything looks good to me. And now what we could do is there is a command called name check. Okay, let's do the name check. Okay, you could get out of there and type named dot check zone, then type zmpt.com, and then type var named and zmpt.flz. Oh, it didn't work, so we are in big trouble now. Named, oh, okay, I typed it wrong. Name hyphen. Okay, so far we got a good result here. Name ZMPT. Okay. FLZ. Okay, let me go back in here. CD, or what is that folder? CD var named, and I'm going to VI. What I'm going to VI? I'm going to VI ZMPT FLZ. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, there should be one more entry in here. DNS master 1. Okay, then it's a record A, and then what you have to type is 192 dot 168.56.101. Okay, let's see if it's going to work here. In here, between here and here, there is a tab. Here and here, there is a tab. So you push the tab key on your keyboard, okay, when you're setting this up. Okay, let's run that command again. Zmpt.in has no address record. Oh, okay. All right, up here, obviously, it cannot read this. So you go in here and delete this. Okay, and then what you have to type is DNS 1.zmpt.com, and then give it a tab again. Type root.zmpt.com. Okay, and then I think there is a period goes here too. ZMPT and zmpt.com. Name.check zone zmpt.com. Okay. zmpt.com/login. Not loaded due to errors. Okay, guys, this is normal here. When you're setting up something like DNS here, because there's a lot of things, a lot of moving things in here, and most of the time, in my experience, there is also always a struggle here with setting up DNS. So this is very complicated stuff. Uh, SOA DNS master 1.zmpt.com root zmpt. Okay, so what you do is you go and try to go on to the internet here. So let's go online. Uh, we already did name.conf, right? We are on to finally. I think I was missing a period there. Okay, worked. All right, guys, so you have to, when you're figuring this out, you have to do it exactly the way it is. So I was missing the period here. That's why it's not picking that up. Okay, so we successfully have done this. Hold on, because what will happen is okay, it's kind of messing it up. So I do paste and I think keep text only, right? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna highlight in here what we have changed. Uh, this information, this information. Okay. Okay, and this here. Okay, you have typed this. So anything in highlighted, you when you're configuring it, you just make sure it's there. Okay, good. So far we are good now. And what we need to do is we get out of here and then we set up a forward lookup zone, right? Now what we need to do is we need to set up a reverse lookup zone. So we're going to copy this file again, cp-p, and then the file name, and then what we're going to do is zmpt.rlz. Okay, we need this file also because we have set the system here that we have flz and rlz over here. So we will definitely go ahead and create this file. Okay, and let's go ahead and edit it. vi zmpt.rlz. Okay, so we have to play that game again. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. We don't need this. And I'm just referencing the FLZ here, okay? And all this looks good. So I'm going to type DNS. Okay, I'm going to type DNS master 1.zmpt.com, then a space root.zmpt .com, and there is a dot also, okay, period. Okay, and in here serial I'm gonna give 1. Okay, and now all this look good here. This thing, type same thing again, DNS master1 dot zmpt.com. Okay, it looks good to me. I think I have to put a period too. And then I type DNS master, then tab, and I give A, and tab again, 192.168.56.101. Okay, now over here this is a little different here. So 101 is gonna hit PTR. Okay, what does PTR stands for? You go into Google and type PTR record. Well, okay, PTR stands for pointer record. Okay, this resolves the IP address. You type PTR and you type DNS master1 dot zmpt.com. Okay, so over here for the forward lookup zone we have a record here, but for reverse lookup zone we have 101, and we have this is going to be looking at using the IP address here. So all this is senseless at this moment, but once we set this up and start working on it, then it will work beautifully. Okay, so it's a little bit boring here, but I'm pretty sure once you're going to be setting this up, you will definitely enjoy. Okay, all right, so we'll do this here, copy. Okay, good. Looks good to me. This one is, and I'm going to copy this. Okay, now we're gonna test it and see if this is gonna work for us. How are we gonna test it? Same thing. Okay, named. So I'm gonna type RLZ here. Okay, name dot. The command is named hyphen check zone zmpt.com. Okay, DNS master zmpt1.com has no address. One oh DNS master A. ZMPT PTR. Okay, I have to give this tab. Okay, if you don't give a tab, that might not work. Let's see if it's going to help us here. No, not loaded due to error. Okay, on ZMPT. Anybody has any idea?
Zafar, class and match is ending at the same time. They both are in a crucial stage.
Oh, really? What match is going on?
Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Okay, okay.
Eight runs and 8 balls.
Who is at that point?
Pakistan is batting, and it's very crucial for Pakistan to win this match in order to stay.
And what's the score?
Score is 221, and
That's a low score, man.
and they need 228 to win, basically.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. Hopefully, both will win.
The problem is Afghanistan has not won a single match, and this is their first victory.
They're gonna derail their aspiration. They have to win this match, right, for Pakistan to get in there?
Yeah, for Pakistan, they have to win.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
It should be DNS Master 1, not DNS Master.
Where? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Who said that?
Sadaf, I guess. See,
Who was that?
Mera.
Okay, great, great. I think you're ready for the job. Okay, it worked. 8 balls, 8 runs. Okay. Thank you. So you have to be critical here when it comes to scripting. These are the things really matter. Okay, the space, how you're writing, and all that. All those things matter when it comes to scripting. But you will learn. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, even somebody who's seasoned still gets stuck somewhere. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do the output here. Okay, so now what we're gonna have to do is all this look good. Now edit.
Zafar, in the notes, don't we have to change DNS master 1?
I did. Oh, over here, yeah. Let me just copy it. The only problem we had. One, and I think this one too. There's supposed to be a tab. No. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, so now we're gonna edit the resolve.conf. Where is the resolve.conf? vi/etc/. So earlier we saw it has some information here. Right now it is automatically being written here. So what are you going to type in here? Type in as a search zmpt.com, and there is another thing that goes in here, names server, name server, and then you type the IP address here, 192.168.56.101. It just, you could delete this. It's a garbage. Let's go ahead and delete it. Okay. Let me save and exit. And okay, so vi etc resolve.conf. Okay, and let me put the output in here. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to start the service here. Service named status. Okay, it's stopped. So what you have to do is start. Okay. Okay, it's working. What dig is a command here. I don't normally use a lot here. Let's see here what dig does. Man, dig. Okay. So dig, there is a built-in command called dig that it tells you if that server is there or not. Okay. So you could read up on that. So you type dig DNS master 1.gmpt.com. Okay. And then what you have to do is now check. Okay, good. And what to do is disable the firewall. What is the firewall? Service IP tables stop, and then chk config. This is for the startup. IP tables off. So when the system is going to start, when you type chk config IP tables off, the system is not going to start the firewall. Let's see service IP tables status. So right now it's on. Stop it, and it has successfully stopped. We could do chk config, and then we're going to grep for IP tables. So see, when we restart the system, the IP table is on. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it off. So when the system starts next time, all this is set to off. Okay. So don't worry about the IP tables. You would never really need to worry about IP tables because IP table is nothing but a firewall, and firewall is turned off on the system. But the firewall is maintained on the network level, and that is a headache for network people. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right now. Tomorrow we're going to set up something called DNS slave. Today we configured DNS master. Tomorrow we're going to set up DNS slave. What is DNS slave? DNS slave is nothing but a replica of master. If the master goes down, slave will take over. Okay, but it's a very wrong term to use it. I really don't like it, but that's how it is. DNS master and DNS slave. You could have one master and you could have multiple slaves. Okay, so we probably will end up spending same amount of time tomorrow, and then there is usually also a struggle, but hopefully we learned a lot today, so I will try not to struggle tomorrow. Okay, anybody has any questions, anything like that, please use the group chat, because I think that is a very effective way to learn. All right, I'm gonna make this available as soon as the recording is available. You guys have a good day. What is the status?
Status of what? Match?
Yes.
Bucks and one.
Okay.
In the
So
second last ball
connected.
with four.
Okay.